LDN, caramba, and Arsenal 4, Leeds 1. Finished that bolt, and exactly what we needed after seeing earlier on 12:30 kickoff. We saw Man City go for it and beat Liverpool. They were 1-0 down, and then they come and beat Liverpool 4-1, and we needed a reaction. We needed to go to Leeds and put a statement down and uphold this 8-point lead, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm so gassed right now, honestly, man. Make sure as you're coming in, you're hitting the like button. And today, we didn't need Saka. We were able to take Partey off for Jorginho within the 60th minute. We were able to make changes and literally rest certain players, not have certain players start the game and still comfortably beat Leeds. Rob Holding, I have to shout out to Rob Holding. I think he did a decent job. We got Saliba that's out, was unable to play, and it didn't seem like it was an issue. We were still able to do what we needed to do to get the points over the line. Caramba, feels that boot that I'm so gassed. And listen, we had 10 finals and we're 9 finals down now, 9 more finals to lift the Premier League, and I'm gassed. This is exactly the standard I want to see. This is exactly what I want to see from this Arsenal team, and I'm absolutely gassed. What a performance today. Honestly, at times, we didn't start the game the best. It was a little bit rocky at the start of the game, but we grew into the game, and then we started to assert ourselves. I think the goal, the penalty, the Jesus penalty came at the right time. We needed to score a goal because it was end-to-end. That first half was very edgy. It was back and forth. There was times where Leeds were cooking. You can see Somerville at times cooking Rob Holding and just overloading him on that right-hand side, our right-hand side. And we can see that we needed to go into the game and do more. And that is exactly what we've done. I'm so gassed. What I want to see. And this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is what we need to continue to the end of the season. Today, I think from deep, Thomas Partey, excellent through balls. Today, also Xhaka, excellent through balls from deep. Every time Leeds was pushing us back to our end of the pitch, we were then counter-attacking them the way that we needed to, hitting the ball long and making sure that we were going back at Leeds and hitting them on the break. Martinelli today was sensational today. Sensational for Martinelli. The amount of chances that Martinelli had, he should have scored more goals, but it doesn't matter. We were still able to put the ball in the back of the net. Jesus coming back. Still, yeah, I said this in the Crystal Palace game, that Jesus deserved a goal in that game against Crystal Palace. And Jesus today was absolutely immense. He was everywhere. Running back to win the ball, defending also. He was all over the pitch. All over the pitch, man. And what a difference. Jesus, he deserved the goal against Crystal Palace. And I'm so glad that he had a brace today. The way he took that penalty, cool, calm, and collected. I said to my cousin, listen, that's a goal. And straight in the gaveta, filhos da puta. This is exactly what I want to see from Jesus. And today the work rate was there. He was making the right runs, making the right decisions. Also the way he holds the ball up, gives it to Martinelli, gives it to Trossard. Trossard was another one. Very good assist for his second goal. I think the way he cut it back for Jesus, perfect. And listen, it's happy days. Happy days. Ben White, even though I thought he was getting cooked and we were getting targeted down the right-hand side on Ben White's side, and Somerville was he was immense in the first half. Somerville was immense. I think the way that Ben White turned it around in the second half was excellent. He started to read Somerville, leave a yard off of him, so give him some time, stand off him a little bit, give him time to react, give him time to actually have time to react to Somerville, not give him the space to cut in and run him behind. I think Rob Holding was excellent. Zinchenko, from the start, I mean, it allowed Christensen to have a shot in the start of the game. And then after that, he was immense going into the midfield. What I love about Partey, Xhaka, and Zinchenko, every time that Leeds were playing a high line and trying to push us back into our half, they would sit in deep and then provide that through ball straight into Martinelli, into Jesus, into Trossard. And that was what's making we're going from defense to attack very quick, and we're making it very dangerous and cutting Leeds up perfectly. Honestly, today, what a performance. Thomas Partey and Xhaka's passing today was just cutting that Leeds defense, cutting straight through the midfield, straight through the defense, and allowing Martinelli to have the amazing runs that he had today. And I think it was an excellent performance all round. I was very happy with Xhaka and the way that he was recycling the ball from deep and starting the counter-attacks. The same with Thomas Partey. I think at the first, Partey had a lot to deal with. You had Harrison running in from deep. They kept Rocker quite deep and shielding their back line. And then you had Christensen, Harrison, Sinistera, Harrison, and Somerville all trying to overload Ben White and making those runs and stretching our defense. And I think Thomas Partey did a good job of containing them and trying to grab hold of that midfield and trying to hit them on the counter. And that is what ultimately cost Leeds today. And I'm just so gassed at how well we played. Before the international break, we were excellent against Crystal Palace as a squad, as a team. You know, there was not one individual that had a bad game. And today I go into the game and I'm looking around and I'm thinking, the only fear is Rob Holding. I don't think that he's the level that we need. But if he can keep up this level of performance going forward, then we're going to be doing bits. I'm so happy today of how we played. I think Ramsdale as well, great saves, great saves, because Somerville was peppering the goal. Harrison had a couple of chances as well. Christensen also was trying to get a couple of goals in, and we had to be resolute defensively, and that's what we did. We weathered the storm. Sometimes in games you need to weather the storm. At times teams are going to come at you, which Leeds were, and I think at times even when they sat back and made things difficult for us, we didn't panic. We contained ourselves and we grew into the game. After the penalty in the 35th minute, we grew into the game. It was definitely a penalty, you know, with Ayling going. And Ayling had an absolutely atrocious game today. Atrocious. If I was a Leeds fan, I'd be fuming. Yeah, handballing the ball back when Tini came on in the box. He goes down, doesn't get the ball. Jesus takes on one or two players and Ayling just sticks a foot out and hits Jesus on the knee. And that's clearly a penalty. Clearly an obstruction, clearly a penalty, and Jesus took it excellently. But Ayling, we definitely took advantage that Ayling was having a bad game. Even when Kieran Tierney come on, was exploiting that side. And today was great. Man. I'm happy. Listen, right now I've got the Serrano on coke. And listen, familia, right now I'm celebrating. Finish that ball, hold that. This is how you run a flipping title challenge, yeah? Man City play, they get the points. No worry, we'll do our business as well. No worry. Yeah, a brace from Jesus. Ben White, even Ben White with the goal. I mean, this is what I like to see from Ben White, because at times in the first half, before he had the goal, at times in the first half, he was getting caught out of position in Somerville. He didn't have the pace to recover and catch up to Somerville. But in the second half, he was a lot more, he knew when to bomb forward and when to overlap Saka on the right-hand side or Trossard on the right-hand side. And that's what got him the goal. Being in the box at the right time, receiving the cross, and then boom, what a goal. And listen, familia, listen, estamos a celebrar hoje. You know what I mean? I'm gassed right now. I'm absolutely gassed right now. This is exactly what I wanted to see, because I did watch the Man City game, and at 1-0, I was thinking, listen, maybe Liverpool can do us a favour. Then finish that, but I can't count on them, man. It's maricas, they can't do anything. But listen, this is what I like about this Arsenal team this season. No matter what is going on around us, we go out there and we get the points and we do what we need to do. Irrelevant if Man City pick up points, if Liverpool can't do us the favour, we go out there and we assert ourselves. And this is exactly what I want to see. I think the way that Leeds played, they did frustrate us at times in that second half. That second half was very 50-50 in the way that we were playing. It was very, you know, there's a lot of times that Leeds was just coming at us. Harrison running in from deep and Rocker sitting deep next to the centre-backs. It's almost like they had five at the back. And we were struggling to break them. So listen, the penalty just swung the momentum back into Arsenal's favour. And it is what it is, man. We're doing what we need to do, getting the job done. I said it, even with their injuries, even if they had their full squad, I expected us to beat them. And we beat them comfortably. Even when at 3-0, they go back and get a goal. Christensen, Xhaka does try and stick a leg in and try to get the ball. Okay, it gets to Christensen. No one's marking him. It was a bit poor, but it is what it is. They make it 3-1. We still go out there and get another goal. And this is what I want to see. This is exactly what I want to see. This team has a resilience. They're together and they are fighting for this manager. And it's excellent to see, man. Excellent to see. Listen, I wish that we kept the clean sheet, but at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points. And at the business end of the season, you got to get it how you live. You know what I mean? You got to get it the way you want to get it. And listen, I'm so gassed, man. I was so gassed. After that Man City game, I was just like, oh, please, man. Arsenal, don't let me down. And it didn't let me down. And it was good to see Thomas Partey. We definitely needed Partey at the start of this game, the way that they were pressing us. And we weathered the storm. We weathered the storm in the first 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes, first 15 minutes of the game, we weathered the storm from Leeds. At the last 10 minutes, we weathered the storm as well from Leeds before halftime. And we did what we needed to do. I'm gassed, man. I'm gassed, familia. Literally, I am gassed today. What a performance. Odegaard as well. So that cross that he gave to Xhaka in the box, what a cross. it was just inch perfect. Xhaka, he didn't even have to put much power into it. Just place it. Just nice and easy. Nice and easy. Finish that. Bullta. What a ball from Odegaard. And some of the runs from Odegaard, the runs from Trossard, and even when Trossard went into the middle when Jesus came off, just look how well this guy just performs no matter where you put him in on this pitch. Like, honestly, Trossard is such a baller. Has to be the signing of January. Like, the best signing in the January transfer window has to be this season. Trossard, the way he just came into this team, he's had no preseason. He's come straight into the team in January, knowing that we're trying to go for the league title. And look at what he brings to this team. It's immense. Immense what Trossard brings to this team. Jesus, I mean, he's only just come back from injury, and look at the way he was performing. I saw this performance already against Crystal Palace, and I said, this guy, I'm telling you, he is ready. This guy's going to do absolute bits. And the work rate from Jesus, I think it was good for Mikel Arteta to take Jesus off, because he is coming back from an injury, and as good as he's playing, we do also need to, monitor him and make sure that, he doesn't get any more knocks. And the game was kind of wrapped up, and that's what we want to see. But Jesus was absolutely immense and completely deserved the goals that he scored. Martinelli goes without saying. There was times where I thought Martinelli could have made better decisions. I think Martinelli should have got a goal today. I think his performance warranted a goal, but unfortunately it didn't come his way. But I definitely feel like Martinelli deserved the goal. The way he was stretching Leeds, holding the ball, passing it back to one of the front three, just it was immense. And it's that Martinelli just driving at them. The amount of chances we had in the first half that we were driving at them, and it was crazy. Honestly, the counter-attacking football, this is what I want to see. Very quick passing, very quick runs, everybody knowing their job. Whoever gets the ball from deep lobs it straight over to a Martinelli or Jesus and starts the counter-attack. What performance today? I mean, what else would you want? Ben White is learning. One thing I like about Ben White on this right-hand side, comparing to last season as a centre-back, is he's learning. He was able to keep Zaha quiet. The first couple of minutes against Zaha, it took him a while to adjust in that Crystal Palace game. And then he kept Zaha quiet for the rest of the game. The same thing today. He kept Somerville so quiet that they subbed him off. And that's a credit to Ben White. Ben White has been somebody, anyone that watches this channel, I've been cussing Ben White as a centre-back last season. This season, as a right-back, he has been up there, probably the best right-back in the league this year. And that is a fact. And this just goes to show that sometimes players need to find their right position. Sometimes players just need to be coached in the right way. And Ben White was a player that I wasn't a fan of. But now, the way Ben White is performing, I have to give him props. I have to give Ben White props. This is exactly what I want to see. And the way he defended was excellent. Even Rob Holding, we need you to keep this up for the next 9 finals. We got Liverpool next. We need this level of performance against Liverpool. I know they got buried against Man City today, but it's Man City. I mean, anybody can lose to Man City when they're on form and when they're sourcing. But excellent. Zinchenko was what I love about Zinchenko. I understand that sometimes he goes into the middle and leaves a hole on the left. Some of the passing from Zinchenko in this game, we should have beat these lot 6-7-0. The amount of chances that were being created from Zinchenko from deep, from Xhaka from deep, Partey from deep. There was a cutting pass. I think it was from Xhaka to Martinelli. What a pass. What a pass. And this is the thing. If you want to play a high line against Arsenal, if you want to press us, we'll just hit you on the break. We've got players that can find our front three in from deep. And it's excellent to see, absolutely excellent to see from Xhaka, from Partey, and from Zinchenko. And when it works, we'll cut you up. And I'm just gassed, man. This is what I want to see, man. Like, honestly, I'm really starting to believe that we can do this. I'm really starting to believe. The way that we got certain players that can play multiple positions, certain players seem like they know what they're doing. Xhaka knows what he's doing. He affects the final third. I mean, the way he was sourcing with the passing, and then for that header, I mean, I didn't even expect it. When Odegaard crossed it, I didn't even know Xhaka was in the box. I was thinking, who's that in the box? And he taps it in. Jesus, the second goal, I mean, he did really well for the penalty, taking out 2-3 men out in the box, drawing a foul. That's what top strikers do. If you can't get through a shot through into goal, just dribble around the box. They know if they clip you, go down, straight away, penalty. It's excellent, man. Excellent. Honestly, excellent from Jesus. And I'm so glad that he's back, man. What a baller. And he just makes us all round a lot better. He brings out the best in Martinelli and in Trossard. And I can't overstate how well Trossard has just come into this team and made it seem like he's been here all season. It's just been excellent, man. Honestly, from Granit Xhaka, from Trossard, and even Jorginho coming on as a sub. Tierney, look at what Tierney brings, and this is why I don't understand when Arsenal fans get onto Tierney. Look at the way he was stretching them on the left hand side. Ayling was stressed. Man had to start handballing the ball. Man had to start doing all sorts. Man, Tierney's a problem. The way he stretches teams on that left hand side and gives Martinelli another outlet. And it's just crazy, man. He come on and he created chances as well. And this is why you need a variety of players. And you've got Zinchenko that can fill in the midfield and we can overload the midfield. But you also got Tierney that once Zinchenko, is tired, you bring on Tierney and he can just stretch them and start crossing, spamming crosses into the box, providing things, doing different things. I mean, honestly, man, I'm so happy, man. I'm literally so happy because we needed a reaction and the pressure was on Arsenal because City got the points and we had the pressure and we rose to the occasion. And this season, let's be real, every time the pressure's been on, we've delivered. Every time people are looking at Arsenal thinking, okay, right, are you not going to drop points? We're actually delivering. And this is the standard. This is the standard of the football club. And this is the standard I've been holding my football club to. And it's no surprise. This is the standard that I upheld before when we were finishing 8th and 5th and all that rubbish. I was saying, no, the standard is to win the league. And now we're seeing the whole fan base, the happiest I've ever seen them since winning the league in 2004. And it's no surprise. People are happy when their football team are actually fighting for major honors and actually winning games and actually going out there and putting week in, week out, putting in performances and going for major honors. It's no surprise that everyone is happy, and I love it. The standard that I upheld, that Lee Gunner upheld, that loads of people upheld is not a standard that's made the whole fan base united and happier than ever before. And it's crazy because this was a standard a couple of years ago that was deemed negative. It's not negative. It is positive. We are going for the title. And I'm so gassed, man. I got literally coming up to do this stream, I had a massive smile on my face. I was thinking, this is exactly what I want to see. Let's get into a lot of the events from the game. From kickoffs, Zinchenko doesn't clear the ball. Then Christensen gets the shot off, but it's saved. And that was rocky. That was literally within the first couple of minutes of the game. And you're thinking, Zinchenko, you need to cover on the left-hand side. But he definitely grew into the game after that. Xhaka with a top-class cross to Jesus, who hits it wide. And Xhaka was pinning these kind of crosses all game, man. All game, Xhaka was doing that. And big up to Xhaka, man. Honestly, this season, he's been a completely different player. Arison with a great free kick into the box. And we got away with that because they had a striker. They had their striker literally unmarked for that free kick from Leeds. And Arison was completely unmarked. And if he had got ahead to it, it probably would have been 1-0 at that stage. But we got away with that. We got away with the free kick. But it is what it is. On the break, Ben White push it up too high. Somerville gets the ball in the box. Leeds tried to backheel it in, but it's offside. And this is when I was looking at it thinking, Ben White, you need to understand when you're coming up against a skillful winger, a tricky speedster like Somerville, you need to give him some space. And you need to pick your chances. You need to be very clear when you're going to go forward and when you're not, because if Somerville gets that ball, you don't have the recovery speed to catch up to Somerville. But Ben White did obviously he was definitely listening to, I don't know, maybe somebody in the pitch told him that look, listen, you need to stand off Somerville, and we get that you want to overlap and give Trossard that kind of overlapping option, but you also need to watch out that Somerville's getting the better of you, and they will definitely double team in on him. On Ben White in that first half. Martinelli with a cross into the box to Jesus, but Jesus hits it wide. And Martinelli was saucing, man. Martinelli was absolutely saucing today. All he needed was a goal, if I'll be completely honest. All he needed was a goal today. But on the break, Somerville lays it off to Harrison, who hits it at the goalkeeper. And this is what I was saying, on that right-hand side, Holding and Ben White, they weren't dealing with Somerville the way they needed to. And they were allowing space for Somerville and Harrison to get into the box. And luckily, it didn't cost us. Mikel definitely must have told them, because at half-time, it was a lot more controlled to the point that Somerville came off. Jesus beats a player, then Ayling studs him on the knee, and it's a pen. Jesus hits it straight through the middle, and it's 1-0 Arsenal. Great through balls from Xhaka and Partey from deep. On the break, Jesus with a top cross to Odegaard, but the keeper comes and clears it. And I mean, Jesus and Odegaard, the way they were playing off each other at times today, man. Honestly, levels, absolute levels, man. This is the. Listen, let me sip to that. Let me sip to that, man. Puta que pariu. Martinelli with a cross into the box to Ben White, who taps it in to make it 2-0. I can't lie. Just like the Xhaka goal, I couldn't believe that was Ben White. I was thinking Ben White in the box. Like, you don't normally see Ben White in the box, but what a cross, what an absolute cross from Martinelli to Ben White, and he just taps it in and makes it look so easy. And you can see what it brings us when you've got a fullback that's overlapping. I understand he had Somerville and he had to put one eye on Somerville, but this is what I mean, that there's times to overlap, there's times to go forward, and there's times to sit back, going up against certain tricky wingers like Harrison, like Somerville. But what a goal by Ben White. What a goal. You know what I mean? And this guy this season, there's not much I can really say about Ben White. You know, I'm full of praise for Ben White. Not just Ben White, Xhaka, there's loads of them. Odegaard, a lot of these players I was doubting last season, thinking, are they good enough? This season, you know, been absolutely, I don't think I could ask any more from them. I couldn't ask any more from Odegaard, Xhaka, and Ben White this season. They've been excellent. Excellent. It's not just been for a couple of games, it's been all season. And that is the level of consistency that it takes for us to win major honours like the league. And long may it continue. Long may it continue. Jesus into Trossard, who cuts it back into the box for Jesus to finish it 3-0. I mean, that little pass from Trossard. I mean, and this is what I love about Jesus. He creates his own chances. Like, he passes it to Trossard. Trossard, then he runs into the space, receives it from Trossard, and then just bangs it, you know, bottom corner. And this is Jesus. Listen, thank God we have not missed him, but you see what he brings when he's available. And I'm so happy that Jesus is back, man. This guy is an absolute baller. This guy, there was nothing he didn't do today. And today, I'm sorry, today my man of the match has to be Jesus. He did everything today. He defended, he tracked back, he picked up a defender on set pieces. He was doing everything, driving at the defense, stretching the defense, creating chances, bringing Trossard into the game, bringing Martinelli into the game. He was absolutely immense today. Big up to Jesus. Definitely 100% my man of the match. My man of the match. Trossard with a corner. Martinelli almost scores a header. And that was unlucky, man. That was unlucky. That was near the near post. And Martinelli almost got it in, but the keeper saves it. Top cross from Trossard. I mean, at this point, what can't Trossard do? On the break, Harrison passes it across to Christensen, who is unmarked. Xhaka tries to get a foot, can't reach it, and is hit bottom corner and makes it 3-1. And what I love about this, 3-1, we don't put our heads down. We still go for it. We still go for it. Saka draws 4 players around him. He dribbles down that right-hand side, then passes it back to Odegaard. Then Odegaard crosses it into Xhaka that's in the box, and it becomes 4-1. You know, and this is exactly what I want to see. Put games to bed. We didn't become complacent at 3-1. We didn't think, oh, that's it. Nah, let's go get another one. Let's completely put this game to bed. You know what I mean? Because at 3-1, the Leeds players were starting to get a bit more momentum, starting to press up. That second half, we were completely bossing them. It was comfortable. Leeds were sitting back. The way we started that second half, the intensity of how we started that second half was absolutely immense. We were pressing them. We were going for them. We were just driving at them, cutting through them, cutting passes. This is what we need. Direct passing, man. Cutting straight through them. Absolutely excellent to see. Excellent to see from Arsenal, man. The way we started that second half, that whole second half was comfortable. All they could do is put 2 banks of 4, everyone behind the ball, and try to hit us on the break. And Ben White, the way Ben White started defending Zinchenko, the whole defense, the way we were defending as a unit, they weren't able to open us up and get in behind Ben White anymore. And that's praise to Ben White, and it's also praise to Arteta, because whatever he said at halftime, he shored us up defensively. We were a lot more open in the first half. And in the second half, I don't really recall any chances that made me shaky or made me feel like, oh, this is a little bit, you know what I mean? It's a little bit mad. Am I doing a call-in? Yeah, I'll do a call-in. I'll put the link out in the chat now. Why not? Anyone wants to come out? Make sure your camera and your mic is on and you can jump on. No problem. Anyone that wants to jump in, yeah, you can jump in there. The link is in the description. But yeah, Tierney with a cross into Martinelli, who shoots it straight at the defender. And this is what I'm saying, man. Like, honestly, today, the praise to the players and praise to Arteta. He got it spot on. We didn't need Saka. We didn't need Partey for all the minutes. We didn't need Jesus to play 90 minutes today. And we still got the win convincingly. And I have to give praise to the manager. Definitely have to give praise to the manager. It was comfortable. And he was already making substitutions at 60th minute because it was so comfortable. You know, Saka coming on for Jesus. Jorginho coming on for Thomas Partey. It was comfortable, and we completely bossed and asserted ourselves, and it was exactly the approach that we needed. And I think the players must have seen the result at City and knew that we needed to come out here and we needed to assert ourselves and get these 3 points, because we got Liverpool coming up next, and that ain't going to be easy. And I'm not overlooking Liverpool just because they got slapped up by City, because at the end of the day, it's City. We got Natstar. What are you saying, bro? You good?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, man. What are you saying, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm gassed, man. I'm here drinking the Serrano and Coke. I'm chilling, bro.
Yeah, I've just got my lemon and honey tea.
Lemon and honey. What's going on? You ill?
Nah. It's if I have tea, that's just what I have in it. Sometimes I put in a bit of ginger, but chop it up nicely. But yeah, this time it's although I've had a bit of like sinus in it. Sometimes I get sinus, but other than that, I mean, I was ill like last week, but yeah, all good, man. All good. Arsenal winning.
What do you make of today's game, bro?
First half was disappointing, like, because if you're gonna start Partey, right, and you know, obviously you got Jesus and the rest of them, man. Yeah, I can understand Saka being rested. I get that. I give Arteta props for that shit, but if you're going to start Partey and the rest of them, we should be putting these fuckers away before half time, innit? You know, like, it's got to be a 3-0 team. Like end the stream settings like at half time, because in this game, right, you know, you have to exert your dominance. I'm pretty sure like Arteta is probably saying to these players, like, look, it's going to go down to the wire. If it comes to goal difference, right, it's definitely needed to get that goal difference up, get the goals up, you know, get them clean sheets. Obviously, we didn't get that today, and we fucking should have done. But you know, like, but yeah, second half we were better. We're a lot better. But yeah, disappointed about, you know, not keeping that clean sheet. I think Trossard was brilliant. Martinelli was good. Jesus was very good as well. Again, I would personally like to see Tierney, you know, start, or at least, you know, get on, like, even have just like half a game. Do you know what I'm saying? He can't even get half a game at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like my left back as well as like yours, Lee Gunn, and the rest of them, man. You know, it's frustrating. I expected to win like you and others, and we did, but I just look at it, and I saw the City Liverpool game earlier today, and I'm just like, if we play like that in the first half, even a shit Liverpool team, they'll get confidence from that. Do you know what I'm saying? And being at their gaff, we have to perform 90 minutes plus, have to do it from the end of the season. Well, we've got like 9 games left now, like 8-9 games left. Every game's a cup final. Fuck it. Go for this. Go for the team, man.
Do you know what it is, bro? Yeah, at the start of this game, yeah, I said that Leeds are only 3 points off the bottom. They're a dangerous team. I only looked at them and said, could they set up resilient and hit us on the counter? Now, there's been 2 ways that Arsenal have struggled this season, yeah, against teams that have that set up in a low block and just literally everyone behind the ball, and teams that press us. Those have been the 2 things that have hurt us in this season. Yeah, and we struggled, but I actually think that we've overcome that now. I think in the first half, we didn't expect Rocker to sit so deep and shield that back line. We also didn't expect Harrison and Somerville to be doubling up on Ben White. And we know what Ben White's weakness is his recovery pace. He doesn't have that recovery pace. And a lot of times, Ben White was trying to overlap Trossard. But the thing is, as soon as Leeds would get the ball on the counter, he didn't have the recovery pace to get back to Somerville. And Somerville is a very pacey winger, and so is Harrison. Both of them are very fast, and I think we didn't expect that, and I think that's what caught us out. And Sinistero was doing the same thing on the other side, and I think we didn't expect Leeds to sit so resilient, because they were sitting back allowing us to come onto them, and then they were hitting us so fast on the counter. And I thought that they would play a high line. And at times we did catch them out on the high line, but I thought the whole game they'll play a high line where they actually sat back and absorbed a lot of us coming onto him, and we played the high line, and then get it out to Harrison, Somerville, Sinistera, and they were hitting us with pace, and we were struggling. And that is why in the first couple of minutes, you saw Zinchenko getting caught out of position, and Christensen gets a shot on target. You saw Ben White at times getting cooked by Somerville and Harrison, and they were just playing those little triangles. Harrison was dropping in deep, playing little triangles with Somerville and Harrison. And I think by half time, Arteta did what needed to be done. He went out there and said, look, listen, step back a little bit. Yeah, these guys are trying to burn you for pace. Step back a little bit. You need to pick your time when you're going to start overlapping, because you're also leaving a gaping hole in the defense when you're bombing forward. Yeah, you're trying to help us go forward, but these men are Leeds were just waiting to get the ball off us on the counter, and they were just at it. And it was catching us out, and we got away with a lot of them. Let's be real, we got away with it. There was a lot of chances in that first half. They had decent chances. Sinistera had chances. Somerville had chances. Harrison had chances. Christensen had chances. They had a lot of players that had a lot of chances. And this is the thing I don't rate about Leeds. They don't have any really world-class finishers. They don't really have finishers like that. They got a lot of pace, and they got players with decent technical ability and pace. But if they had a couple of finishers, this game could have been different. But I have to also give props to Arteta on how he handled changing things in the second half. Because that second half was completely controlled. That second half was completely different. And the way we set up, we controlled. Even when we took off at 60 minutes, we took off Thomas Partey, which we know gives us the most control in the midfield. We still controlled them. The only thing we could really say, okay, the time they scored the goal with the Christensen, Xhaka could have done better to have won the ball. Maybe Jorginho should have been marking his man, because Christensen was completely clear, and we let him get off the shot and they scored. But overall, at the end of the day, this is the crunch end of the season, and I'm not expecting us to have amazing football. We just need to get over the line. There's going to be games like today where the first half we're not looking that great, but we still need to find a way to get over the line. But I do agree that the first 10, 15 minutes were really rocky, and doing those kind of mistakes against better opposition, we would have been 1-0 down way before the penalty.
Yeah. The penalty helps, but again, like, usually you get like a manager bounce. Was it Ryan? Not Ryan Garcia. I'm thinking of the fucking boxer. Javier Garcia, isn't it, or something like that? Where he's like, you know, he's just come in, you know, like different man on in the dugout and all of that. You know, they had a little bit of a bounce, but you know, like with Palace, like before, we kind of knew that we had them anyway, because Vieira shouldn't have got potted. At least that's my opinion anyway. But today, and going on to the end of the season, I don't give a fuck how we play, man. For real, I'm gonna keep it all the way funky in this motherfucker. Yeah, like we just need to win. Yeah, win at all costs. Manage the game, in-game management. Yeah, you know, even though Arteta is still persisting with this inverted left back and all of that, today you can get away with it against Liverpool away, obviously City away, even at Chelsea at home, because Chelsea. They're not as bad as they have been, you know, since the turn of the year. Do you know what I'm saying, man? Best believe that. And I think it is time. If ever there was a time, we have to start Tierney. Have to start him. There's no FA Cup, no Europe. There's no fucking excuses. Because if we start Tierney from now till the end of the season, he might stay. Might stay. I know it's a long shot. But for me, defensively, and when he's there, I think whenever he's come off the bench, I don't think we've conceded a goal, especially since the turn of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I'm not a statistician, yeah, and I'm not a massive believer in stats and all of that, because it's all about the eye test, yeah. The eyes don't lie. My eyes don't fucking lie. I know exactly what the fuck I'm seeing. Whenever he's on that pitch, we look solid. It doesn't matter who's in goal, who's at the back. We always look far more solid, more composed. With Zinchenko, it's just like there's always that gap. And it can get a bit concerning. Yeah, it was great today, but I think ultimately, I do believe we are going to win this league. But the only way we're going to win this league, yeah, is take our chances, defend well, none of this stupidness, foolishness, yeah, at the back. You know, like trying to flick it over like Bellerin did, like a few seasons ago at Anfield. None of that bullshit. None of that bull career and all of that. Yeah, you know. And Arteta and the rest of the players just need to keep their heads. Yeah, you know, stay strong and all of that. None of this fila da puta and all of that. Yeah, just keep your fucking heads. Yeah. Like, you know, just keep your head in the game, stay in the game. Pep can do what he wants, yeah, because they're fighting on 3 fronts and all of that. You know, City can do what they want, yeah. But as long as we win all of our games, it doesn't matter what they do. They can beat us, but as long as we win all of the rest of our games, we're winning a title, man. It's as simple as that.
No, facts, because the pressure was on us. Now, bro, what's your name? Because it's in a language I can't read, like.
Yeah, it's High Thumb, bro. Remember, I came on the stream the other time.
I remember about the name, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't read the Arabic, bro.
No, next time when I join the stream, I'll put my name in English, innit?
How you doing, bro? What do you make of today, bro? City won their game. We needed to win. We're 8 points clear. We definitely dominated in the second half. We got the win, 4-1. What do you make of today's game, bro?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, you know I'm a Liverpool fan, innit? Like,
you man couldn't even do us the one job, Philly stuff. You man couldn't even do one job. Don't come on here.
We're what, bro?
One job. One job. Yeah, you couldn't even do me a favor.
Nah, your team folded, brother. Whatever your name is, yeah. Like, big up to yourself, yeah. But your team folded in that second half.
Our midfielders washed. Alexander Arnold is washed, bro. This season. Robertson is done out here. Van Dijk, aka Van Disney, my man, he's just all over the place. Our forward line gets barely any service. We're a mess, bro.
Why can you do us a favor, though, bro?
You know what it is?
Man. What happened to Darwin? No, let's take it to the big Reds.
When you got
that, bro.
Bro, you know my dad, yeah. You know my dad's a Chelsea fan, innit?
Pagans.
You know my dad's a Chelsea fan, yeah. And he always cusses out Liverpool players. You know what he calls Elliot? He calls them idiot. Now I know why he calls him idiot, bro. Because he's bro. Elliot midfield is rubbish. Henderson, bro. Henderson and Milner. You know like the Chuckle brothers, bro. Henderson and Milner, bro. Milnerson, Chuckle brothers. You know,
I was arguing with my cousin, bro. I was telling him, yeah, the reason you lot are in this position because you lot, yeah, have not reinforced that midfield. You got Fabinho and you've got Thiago that are world class. Everybody else, yeah, either in the decline or not good enough. You know what I mean? Right. Elliot should not be relied on. Jones should not be relied on. Do you know what I'm saying? Man like Hendo and Milner, bro, these men are over the hill. You know what I'm saying? He was arguing with me, saying, oh, nah, but they didn't need to, though. Certain man could do a job. And I said, this is the same problem with Arsenal, yeah? We look great when we got to start and line up players, yeah? But the bench is such a drop-off in quality that
that's what I'm saying.
Injury, it don't work. Would you agree that was problem with Liverpool?
You're absolutely spot on, bro. And you know, I'll even go further to say that is because obviously we didn't strengthen the midfield, but the defense as well, bro. We didn't strengthen the defense. Like Van Dijk is I'm sorry, but he's done. Gomez should not be at the club anymore. Matip, his time has come to an end. We got to sign like 6 or 7 new players. And the problem is, yeah, with our team, after we won the Champions League in 2018-19, who did we sign? We signed Van den Berg and Elliot, bro. After winning a Champions League, that's your opportunity to go get 3-4 good quality players. We should have done that. We didn't do that. After we won the Premier League, we only signed Thiago, we signed Jota, but we need to sign more. We needed to strengthen the defense. We need to strengthen the midfield. But the attack is the only thing that's fine right now. But everything else is just a complete mess, bro. Honestly. Like, you know what? After the Real Madrid game, I didn't even want to watch Liverpool ever again, bro. This season. After we got cooked by a man like Vinnie Jones, that idiot, bro, that Brazilian prick, Vinnie Jones. After we got cooked by him, I was like, you know what? I don't even want to watch Liverpool again, but
bro, your manager,
the passion keeps you going.
Bro, Milner's 37, yeah, and it's not about age, it's about upholding the quality, yeah, because I was talking to my cousin, yeah, the reason Scholes and Giggs stayed on is because the quality was still up there, do you get it?
Yeah.
Not every player ages like fine wine, like, for example, Drogba, he started developing more into his later years, do you know what I'm saying? But a lot of these players, they've been playing this gegenpress, they're tired, they've been blocked out, they can't do it, and I told my cousin, yeah, I was like, yo, the way Liverpool play, yeah, Your midfield is pivotal to your gegenpress, and they're also pivotal in covering the space that Robertson and Alexander-Arnold need when they go forward.
Those wide spaces,
nah, Liverpool play a possession-based football. I go, no, they don't. They play a counter-attacking football.
We don't.
But this guy was talking, he don't even watch football, bro. This guy was trying to argue me, bro. I'm there watching your game. This guy's stressing me. I had dripping sweat running down. I'm like, bro, what's this guy talking about? You know what I'm saying?
We only play possession.
Listen, we'll get back onto Liverpool, yeah? But what do you make of Arsenal this game?
Okay, cool.
Doing what we need to do against Leeds.
Okay, as for Arsenal, remember what I told you before, yeah? I told you that you might can win the league, but you need to go to the Etihad, and I think you need to win that game. That's where I stand. But as for today, let me dissect the performance today, because I did watch the game. I was multitasking, but I watched the game, and boy, Gabriel Jesus, oh my God, that guy, man, honestly, he's a different breed, man. He's a different breed of striker. Like, he's not just a striker, like, he's a forward. Like, he can go on the left, can go on the right. Like, he does everything. Like, he can occupy the whole front three, and the guy's got quality, man. He's got absolutely brilliant quality there. Like, I think he's your best forward since Sanchez. That's what I honestly believe. Like, overall, like, he's your best forward since Sanchez in terms of, like, quality, leadership. He doesn't just bring quality, he brings leadership. He brings that motivation and determination to the team. And he's just such a quality player, man. Honestly.
You'd say Trossard is better than Saka? In your opinion? You'd think Trossard's better than Saka?
No, I think Saka's better, but I think Trossard is better as an overall footballer. I think Saka still
like Trossard technically, as a footballer, technically rather, because there's a difference between being, in my eyes anyway, there's a difference between being skillful and technical. I'll give you an example.
Spot on.
Like Leo Messi, is technical. He's the most technically gifted player I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo is skillful. Yeah. Doesn't mean he's technical. Do you see the difference? Yeah. He gets the goals. He can do things here and there. Well, used to. Like, now he's CR37. Like, Northside, I've got to be real. I know you're Portuguese and I know you rep your man. Obviously, Angola, Cape Verde and all of that, yeah? But Cristiano has been done out here. And I know you know this deep down, but he's been done out here, yeah? So maybe it's not the best example, but for you, yeah, Salah's skillful, but he ain't technical, in my opinion.
You're spot on.
I don't think he's shit. Like Cristiano, I don't think he's absolute dog shit, like worst football. I'm not going to overreact, but he ain't all that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like Drake. Cristiano Ronaldo is the Drake of football. He ain't all that. He's not that great. I've heard better, bro. Better rappers, better singers, all of that. And it's the same with Cristiano, and it's the same with Salah. If you look at like all the technical gifted players now, I can only name a handful. Other than Leo Messi, you're struggling, bro. Neymar, but he gets injured a lot and all of that. Like Jadon Sancho's had his issues, yeah.
Maradona,
Grealish, Foden, Mahrez, you know, like those kind of players. Outside of that, João Felix, of course. Like you're struggling, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? You're absolutely struggling. Yeah. And one thing you were saying about the way you play and all of that, I think it's clear to see that you miss Thiago in that midfield so bad because Harvey Elliott can't do that role. I know that's why he's in there, you know, and to do the pressing thing and all that. But Thiago brings something different. He absolutely brings something different. And, you know, like, since he's been injured, like, you guys have not been the same, innit? Because he's such a fucking good baller and he's physical. He'll put the boot in. We all know he'll put the boot in, but the range of passing, the technique, because he's another one, yeah. He's probably, technically, other than Roberto Firmino, your best player. Those two in your whole squad. Because Van Dijk ain't got it no more, as you said yourself, innit? He don't have it no more. Alisson's been a bit shaky. Kanate, I'm not convinced, man. He's definitely got the bozo gene, yeah? Gabriel has it too, but Gabriel's been playing better. But Kanate definitely has that bozo gene, bro. Because sometimes he'll look good, and then other times he'll look calamitous, yeah? So no wonder Van Dijk's just like, you know, like he gets the ball, he gets pressed, and then he can't pass it back to him, to the keeper, and then shit happens, man.
Yo, mute, bro. Yo.
Are you there, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Someone called me during the stream. Apologies, bro. But yeah, I heard what you said about the technicality and the skill. there's a huge difference between someone being technical and there's a difference between someone being skillful. So yeah, we have technical players are dying now. I'm not gonna lie to you, but there's more like pace and power sort of players, which I think are needed as well. You get what I mean? I think in order to run a team well, I think you need a balance. You can't just have all technical players that's not well built and like small players, because you get bullied.
Yeah, that's what happened to us for 20 years, bro. That's why I won a league title, because we had some good little techie players,
yeah,
and a few like great ones like Santi Cazorla and all of that, you know, Ozil, etc. But we didn't have that Thomas Partey in midfield, because technically he's P&P, but I think he's quite technically sound. Not the most technical, but he has a nice balance of technique, good level of skill, but the physicality that you need in midfield. And like with Fabinho, he's another one that's fallen off now. I don't know what's happened to him, but if you had like a Basuma or like a Caicedo, just someone in there that can clean up whenever like you guys are like in the shit. Because the amount of times that we've relied on Partey when we've been in the shit, and then you look at us when we don't have it, when we have Xhaka, Jorginho, El Nene before he got injured. Chalk and cheese, mate. Absolute chalk and cheese. So you're right. There is a balance. Yes, most players are P&P. I get that. Rashford is a perfect example. But balance, bro. You know, Rashford's living it up in NYC, man. Like, he's living it up in NYC, giving the middle finger to fucking Scrubgate, innit? Trust me, Scrubgate is just as scandalous, in my opinion, as fucking the Watergate Mr. Nixon in fucking self, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, like, I hear what you're saying, man.
Let's get into this question here. Question Northside and Natstar. Who starts against Liverpool next week out of Martinelli?
Oh
Jesus,
my
Saka?
God. I'm not
For me, I feel like
Trossard
can play on the left. So I'd put Trossard on the left, I put Saka, and then I put Jesus. I just feel like Trossard, I feel like his performances at Arsenal have been even better than Martinelli, man. I think as a player, I think he's a better player than Martinelli. Doesn't mean I don't rate Martinelli, but I feel like the most informed for me is Trossard and Saka at the wingers. Even though I think Martinelli did well today, I'm not saying he's not done well. I'm not saying that he hasn't got potential. But Martinelli sometimes, in decision making, sometimes he's not the best. Sometimes he takes too long to make a decision. With Trossard and Saka, I feel like Saka gives you the output, and Trossard has just got more ability than Martinelli. Like, Trossard can beat you for skill, can beat you for pace, can drop in deep, can go into the middle. Like, he can drop in any position. I just think Trossard's got more about him than Martinelli as a baller. Whereas Martinelli, a lot of times he runs into space, but a lot of times you don't really see him too often beating a guy unless he beats you for pace. He doesn't really have that ability. Also, I feel like Trossard's got, I think he can score a bigger range of goals. I think Martinelli a lot of times is just cutting in the box and then just slotting it bottom corner. So I'd go for that. I think we definitely need to be looking at Zinchenko's position, because we can't play a high line. If we play a high line, we're gonna get cooked by Liverpool. These lot are the kings of pressing, and even though it's not prime Liverpool, we have to hit them on the break. The way we exploited the space in behind from Leeds today and got our goals, we also need to be the same. We need to be playing counter-attacking football against Liverpool, and we'll cook them. If we start playing a high line, pushing everyone forward, Liverpool will get in behind, and you can see, like, that's how they scored their goal against Man City. Man City committed too many players forward. They caught him on the counter-attack, got in behind and scored. Do you know what I'm saying? So we can't do that. We have to be resolute. We have to make sure everyone kicks back, and then we hit them on the counter. But we can't commit too many man forward. Do you know what I'm saying? I think we don't have another option. We've got Ben White. He's got to be careful. You know, Ben White does what he... Bro, I think there's cracking coming from your mic. I don't know if you can sort that, bro. But yeah, as I was saying, Ben White on the right-hand side, you saw how Somerville was cooking him. What's he going to do against man like Gakpo or Diaz? Or, you know what I mean, Jota and them man there? Like, if they catch him out of position, they're going to cook him. Do you know what I'm saying? So we have to look at that. Ben White has to be more disciplined. The way he was disciplined in the first half, he's got to have that discipline against Liverpool. Zinchenko, I'd rather play Tierney. We cannot give Liverpool any space in behind. Salah will cook Zinchenko. If he gets space, he's going to cook Zinchenko. So we got to look into things like this. You know, in terms of the midfield, I think the midfield is sourcing. But my front three, Trossard, Jesus, and Saka. What would you say, bro, going up against Liverpool, our next game?
Yeah, bro. I agree. You know me, bro. Even Lee Gunner knows, and the rest of them, man, they know that I love Gabriel Martinelli. I call him Gabbar9 for a reason, yeah. Because out of all our young players, at least for me personally, he still has the highest ceiling. The only issue for me with Gabriel Martinelli, he's starting to show like signs of a confidence player because he does have the ability. And he's another one where he does have the P&P, skillful, but he does have a bit of tech. He definitely has a touch. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't care what no other man say, yeah? Like, he definitely has tech. But if you're not performing, I don't care if you're my number one guy, yeah? You know, you got a whole bench. Hold that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to like... And I think against Liverpool as well, that will ignite that fire. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, maybe it could turn out to be, again, another absolute masterstroke. Yeah, I said it earlier, Tierney has to start. That's the number one for me. But the same front three, as you would put it, you know, because Saka has the output, he makes the difference. They'll all be up for it. They'll definitely all be up for it. But yeah, if that starting lineup ain't to a T, especially with Tierney, when we come up against Liverpool next weekend, then it's going to be a long fucking afternoon, man. It's going to be a long afternoon because if we play that team, we play well, we'll beat Liverpool. We won't smash them, but I think it'll be like by a goal, maybe two, if we're on it. But if we don't and we play Zinchenko, I'm not that confident. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's what it is, man.
No, it's fair enough, man. I don't think he's the guy for that game. I mean, bro, what would you say? You're a Liverpool fan. What do you think? What would give Arsenal the best chance of beating Liverpool? What lineup?
Yeah, the lineup that Natsa mentioned of in goal, Aaron Ramsdale, right back, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus. Trossard or Martinelli, it doesn't really make a difference. Whichever one you're feeling on the day. But yeah, as long as you start Tierney at left back, I think that you guys will be good, man. And the thing about Anfield, all you need to do is just weather the first 25 minutes. Do not don't hype up the crowd in the first 25 minutes. If you're able to contain the crowd in the first 25 minutes, you're good.
And we also got to start the second half well as well.
Yeah,
because look what happened to Man United. I know it's like your cup final and all of that. You know them way there, but yeah, we got to weather the storm, but also start the second half well. Because if we weather the storm and then concede a goal after half time, that's the worst time to concede because you've already had your 15 minutes, like in the changing rooms and that. That's the last thing you want. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you get that goal and it's 1-0. For me, it's curtains because on the day, like, it can go either way. Even with City, it can go either way. Chelsea at home, like, you know, yeah, we have more of a chance, but it can go either way. So you have to not only start well, but you have to finish well. Start each half well, weather the storm, and just keep them quiet.
And get an early goal as well. Early goal really helps.
Yeah.
Early goal knocks the stuffing out of us, honestly. That will really help you, man, to win. Get an early goal, and then weather the storm. And then come out the second half, maintain the first 15 minutes, and then get another goal and game over. Which you man are probably going to end up doing. So I'm not expecting us even, you get what I mean? I'm not expecting us to even get a goal that game. I'm just gonna take my beatings, you know, and we keep it.
Now, do you know what? Yeah, the thing is, I feel like the way we play football kind of gives the game into your hand. We have to change. We have to go like Man United and hit you on the break. I've seen Man United, you know, earlier on in the season, give, you know, you a lot of hard work because they will sit in deep, not give your wingers any space, not allow any space for your technical players to get in and behind and frustrate you lot, and then just hit you on a counter when Trent is committed, Robertson is committed, and there's gaping holes in your defense. And I think that's what we need to do. I mean, onto this comment here, thoughts on Saka having a release clause of 120 million. That's a joke. I do think it's a joke because when you're looking at the trajectory of Saka, yeah, he's starting to enter that stage where he could potentially move up to world class. When you're looking at certain players that are gone, Jack Grealish went for 117 million euros. Griezmann went for 120 million euros. Enzo Fernandez, that hasn't done anything in British football, was sourcing out there for Benfica. He went to Chelsea for 121 million euros. You know, João Felix also went to Atletico for 120 million euros. So a lot of teams can pay this. You know what I'm saying? Atleti have paid that kind of money. Chelsea have paid that kind of money. Barca's paid that kind of money. Man City's paid that kind of money. Do you know what I'm saying? So when we're looking at players, like when we're looking at that price tag, it's not like we've now put him into a stupid amount of money if you want to get him out of his contract. Kind of like Neymar. The money that they put Neymar on at Barcelona, they never thought anyone would match that. So if you're going to put a release clause, at least put it like 180, 190, something, you know what I mean? Something that you're going to get big boy P's. But nowadays, when you're looking at, if Enzo's going for that amount of money for Saka's release clause,
someone's going to pay that.
Someone's going to pay that. It's not like you've outpriced a lot of these players. Coutinho went for that money. Dembele went for that money. Do you know what I'm saying? All these man, Enzo, Griezmann, you know what I'm saying? All these men I'm reading here, Lukaku, almost. You know what I'm saying?
Man, like Timberland boots and that.
So really and truly, you're not really protecting your asset. A lot of times when you put a release clause, you put something. Obviously, you have to work with the player, but you put something that you feel like, we're going to probably get over the odds on this player if somebody triggers the release clause. You don't put something that a lot of these big teams have already spent on players that arguably you can argue are not as good as Saka or are as good. Like, are you really like, you know what I'm saying? This release clause for me can get triggered easily, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like when I saw that, I hope it's like PR. I really do, yeah. Because like that ain't no Neymar thing. You were talking about 180, 190, and with all due respect, yeah, I would put it as 300 minimum. I don't give a fuck. You either put it at 300 mil or don't bother in it. Don't bother with the release clause because it's not like Spain where you have to put it in there. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Wolves can pay that. Let's be real. Everton, if they weren't in that financial stipulation, they could pay that. You know, there's a lot of teams. Brighton could pay that with the amount of money that, you know, they've been getting from like selling Bear Man. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not just the big teams. Most of the Premier League can pay that. And then you go to the Bayerns, you know, and all that shit. Probably Dortmund could pay that.
Bro, Anthony went to United for 95 million euros, bro. It's not far off 120. Not really. Do you know what I'm saying? And he ain't. He's just come, but he ain't proved nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? So my point is when I'm looking at Cities, Chelsea's, Barca's, Atleticos, PSG's. All these teams can comfortably buy Saka out of his contract. Yeah. So why? Yeah. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Otherwise, don't put a release clause then. Like, yeah, honestly,
if it is PR, then it is a masterstroke. Then I'll give my hats off to the board. But you know me, Northside. You know me, man. Like, I don't even trust this board to run my fucking bath, let alone this fucking football club. Yeah, best believe. I'll run my own bath. I'll make my own dinner. I'll make my own bed and all that shit. Best believe that. You know, 120 mil. Get the fuck out of it,
and
man.
Even like Real Madrid as well. Look at the release clause they put. Like 1 billion euros for Vinny Jones and for Benzema and all of them, man. Like, you should. That's the release clauses you should be putting.
Yeah, but this is the standard. Yeah, I've been cussing this board, Northside, League Gunner. Other people have been cussing this board, rightly so, for years, because they don't have football business acumen. Yeah, is the way I see it is like this. It's Barnet, Bournemouth level. They would do something like this, but a proper club, i.e. Real Madrid, the Bayern Munich, if you look at Bayern Munich, for example, like Leroy Sané, I know he's been kind of hit and miss and all that. They're not putting no 120 million euro like release clause on him. 200 minimum, bare minimum. But they'll probably do like 250 mil because they know no one's going to pay that. No one's going to pay 250 mil for Leroy Sané. So that's why you have it in there if you want to keep him. With Saka, with the way, you know, inflation and all of that, yeah, loads of people are going to pay for it. Loads of people, they look at that and just like, you know what?
Let's test the waters.
Yeah. Do you know what? We know he's good. We'll take the chance. He ticks every single box. He can attack. He can defend as well. Play multiple positions. 120 mil, you know, plus the money that they get from shirt sales and all of that. Few sponsorship here and there. Big clubs, it's calm. But the rest of them will look at it like a tier below, especially in the Premier League, and be like, do you know what? Like, we can make some serious money because, you know, we can have him for a year or two and then we can sell him for more than that. That's my issue. Because if he went to Wolves, for example, yeah, they'd sell him for like 150 mil minimum. Because look at his age, English tax as well. Best believe he's fucking gonna like, you know, go for that like amount of money. But us, it's just like sell cheap, buy expensive, which makes no fucking sense. There's no logic with this board, and that's the biggest fucking issue. Yeah, this is why I don't trust Edu. This is why I've said, and I've been saying it, seeing it for the longest. Yeah, that he is a certified fila da puta. Best believe that, because Edu don't know his arse from his fucking elbow.
A certified besteira.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, you know, he's a
bro,
fucking
it's mad. Yeah,
man.
I'm looking at this list here of players with high release clauses. You've got Benzema on £1 billion release clause, Pedri 1 billion, Ferran Torres 1 billion, like Christensen, Andreas Christensen's got 500 million release clause.
What about
Rodrigo and Vinicius both on £1 billion? Like, these teams have seen, yeah, that PSG will spend money. Like, they thought 200 mil would save their players. It's not. Even Lewandowski, 500 mil. You got Ansu Fati, 1 bill. You know what I mean? It's mad. And we're only putting 150. Like, even Rudiger at Real Madrid has got a 400 million pound release clause. So
Rudiger.
120 is not that great.
Rudiger's got a 400 million release clause. No. You man gotta do better. Like, your board has to actually get serious, man. Your board has to get serious. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the Arsenal board, man, they're not competent. I'm not that our board is competent either, but your board is not good enough, man.
Hey, look, mate, I'll take your board over mine in a heartbeat.
No.
I will sell my board. I'll sell my board, our board, down the river to get your board. But you know what? Yeah, it was more, I think, like with the players that you had, like when you won the Champions League and the Premier League and, you know, the FA Cup, League Cup. Yeah, the success you've had in the last, like, what, 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I think that's been down to your ex director of football, technical director.
Michael.
What was his name? Michael, yeah, that's it. I was thinking Marcus, but obviously he plays for Sporting X Spurs and all of that. Yeah, Michael Edwards. I want that guy, because at least with that guy, he'll set things straight. Yeah, so he'll be able to get bargains and get players that we need at good prices, but he'll sell high as well. None of this selling on the cheap. No 100 mil, 120 mil for a player that should be minimum. And I said 300 as minimum. Not even just the most, minimum.
Just have a conversation.
Have a conversation. Like, I'm hoping, I'm praying it's PR. I'm praying it's the same Mudryk thing. Because we bumped up the price for Mudryk, up and up and up and up. And then Chelsea spent like 88 mil on him. Because, like I think deep down, like, Arsenal knew that they didn't want him that much. But again, it's all these psychological games, But I just hope that that's a fucking case, because if it's not and it ain't PR, that's poor.
You don't want a repeat of like the whole Nasri and Van Persie generation where you just kept on using these guys one after the other. Alex Song, you get what I mean? You don't want a repeat of all that stuff.
Gel Clichy, Kolo Toure, Adebayor. Like the Van Persie one pissed me off, because not only was it Man United, it was cheap. And I was arguing like with a few people that I went to school with at the time, It was like, oh, it's good business. I was like, what? Good business? We still have that war chest from 10, 15 years ago. What are you talking about? Fuck out of here, like, with the whole Arsenal don't have money. Arsenal are still paying off the stadium, which we now know. No one can say that now, because it's been paid. All we need, this is what I would do. Very quickly, this is what I would do, Get David Dein out of that role that he's in, like, club ambassador, because he is Mr. Arsenal, really. Other than Tony Adams, he's the only other one that's Mr. Arsenal. Put him in as CEO, because he's been a manager before, So those days are over for him, but he can still be pivotal, and he'll understand like the world of football and all of that. Put him in the CEO, and then you have Michael Edwards, I'd like Mark Overmars, but with all the other shit that was going on with him, like,
he's doing a mad thing.
Not as easy to get through the door right now. Do you know what I'm saying? And we know what Arsenal are like, like Curry's PC World settings, like, anything like major, that's probably why we haven't signed Ivan Toney, because of the whole like bet 365 and all that 265, 165, 65, like all of them ones there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, to get Michael Edwards in, and trust me, you're going to start to see shit changing. Bin Edu, Bin Vinay. Vinay don't do shit. Vinay is just a token T-boy, yeah? Like he's not even worthy of Sri Lankan Ivan Gazidis, because at least Ivan Gazidis left us with something good in Unai Emery. Do you know what I'm saying? At least he left a parting gift, which Wenger didn't even do. Do you know what I'm saying? You could say Aubameyang, but you know, I'm not gonna like give him that much props. Do you know what I'm saying for that? But like, get Michael Edwards in, bring David O'Leary from ambassador to CEO, get rid of Garlic, get rid of Vinay, get rid of Tim Lewis. You know, like, do you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to start to see this club and this board
moving forward
and moving proper, bruv. Moving proper. I don't want to see anyone being sold for cheap. Even Tierney. Like, even with the limited time that he's played, but he's played for Scotland as well, I want 60 mil minimum. Even with the game time. Bare minimum. But again, because at least Chelsea will get as much as they can get. Do you know what I'm saying? They were able to sell like Bakayoko or something for 30 mil, roughly that, which is what they paid for him anyway. They cut their losses. With Morata, they got like 30 mil, 40 mil, whatever, when they bought him for like 50, 60 mil. So they lost 20
maximize the value that they can sell the player.
Exactly.
But
and that's what Daniel Levy does well, even though like he's...
And even the whole ripping up contracts thing needs to stop. The Willian and the whole, that's just an example, but ripping up people's contracts, that needs to stop. If you take 5 mil, take 10 mil, take whatever you can get, because these guys are still all the money eventually adds up, you know. Especially when you have a stingy board like the Cronkies. Them man are so stingy, bro.
But not only that, they overrate shit. Like we signed Rob Holding to like a 4 or 5 year contract. He's not going to be sold for more than 10 mil. What are you doing that for? Get him out of the club. If he goes on a free, I'll take a £2 million hit. Because the guy ain't it.
But they didn't really do that because the fans allowed them to. If the fans, Reece Nelson had a little purple patch where he was performing.
Give him another contract. Oh, Reece.
You know what I mean? So,
you know what I'm saying? Like with
it's true though, bro. You're laughing, but this fan base is like this, bro. Like,
one great performance. Eddie Nketiah. Give him the full.
Hopefully, Holding can hold up to the end of the season. Hopefully, Holding can hold up to the end of the season. Then goodbye, bro. Goodbye. Yeah. I'm saying Tommy Asu, as soon as he's fit, we need to start putting him on the shelf. You know what I mean? The shelf of the shop. Like, be like, yo, anyone wants a little shelf.
Bring Balogun back. Bring Balogun back. Choice.
Quality. I'll be real. Some players, I'm kind of warming up to because they're consistently putting up good performances, and others are just not good enough. And after, if we do win the league, goodbye, bro. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the memory. Goodbye.
Sayonara.
We got a lot. Like Arsenal are doing very well this season, but we got, the excuse was when we got slapped up to Sporting, we got a thin squad. Now, a lot of these players that I've been saying are on the bench ain't good enough. You're now realizing when we put them in, they're not of the level, and now we're going up a level in terms of European competition. So if they're not good enough to perform in Europa, then since a lot of people are saying that it's a thin squad, cool. When I say that Holding needs to leave at the end of the season, don't tell me nothing because he ain't good enough to perform in Europa. You know what I'm saying? Reece Nelson isn't good enough to perform in Europa. Do you get me? Look, flipping Fabi Vieira ain't good enough to perform in Europa. Neither is Lokonga. So these men need to go. We're going up levels, and some of these players do need to go. So listen, for the rest of the season, I hope they give us 110%. I actually think Rob Holding, even though I don't rate him, I think he did well today. There was times it was a little bit iffy, but overall, I think it was a good performance. You know what I mean? And hopefully we can do that till the end of the season. But that to me doesn't change the fact you're not good enough. And when I'm seeing you go on the flipping All for Nothing documentary, and this Filo da Puta's coming out with, I'm just happy to be part of it, and I'll come in sometime. I was like, listen, marica da merda, listen clearly, bro. You need to leave. That's not the attitude I want. When you're 26, 27, you're happy to be our side mans. Nah. Bun that, bro. You need to bounce, bro. I like players like Saka that come through the youth. Even youthful players have more ambition than this bum. And they're 21, 22. They want to be starters, bro. They're not thinking about, as long as I can be on the bench. Nah, these men want to start. That is the mentality that we need. So if half these men in this squad ain't good enough to perform in Europa, don't no one justify it in the summer when I'm saying slash half this team. Because half this team ain't good enough. And that's a fact, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that also goes to Jorginho. I know Jorginho was calm today, but I don't believe that Jorginho is going to help us win the Champions League, bro. That ain't that level, bro. Otherwise, Chelsea wouldn't have let him go. None of our rivals are giving us their best players, are they? They only give us players when they think they're over the hill. like Willian, like David Luiz, like Welbeck, all these man there. So Jorginho, bro, a lot of people, the narrative will be, but Jorginho, he helped us win the league. Nah, bro, he wasn't pivotal. Do you know what I'm saying? Thank you for the job that you did. We got you on the cheap. Now, goodbye. Do you know what I'm saying? Goodbye, bro. I'm done. So
you're trying to recoup that money back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Fabio Vieira, yeah. If we even get 15, 20 mil, are like, we'll accept that offer. Now piss off, yeah. You know, if Porto are willing to have you back, you can go fuck off back there.
You send him out on loan to increase his value, and then you sell him afterwards.
Yeah, can do. Like, there's a lot of man that need to
like,
get out.
Look, Jorginho, Champions League winner. Look, them man will just lap it up. Them MLS teams will pay the big money, bro. I swear, Higuain went there, Beckham went there, Zlatan went there. Do you know what I mean? Them man don't know what's going on around here.
Yeah, you know MLS. You can send them to Japan. You can send my man to China.
Saudi, bro. Like, yeah, just tell Saudi, yeah, like Al Hittao or whatever them man are called, yeah. We'll sell him to Al Nassr, like with Cristiano, the Sue squad, isn't it? The suing squad.
Maybe
squad. Yeah,
that's it, bro. I don't really care, bro. Like, but you know what? Like, I am, you know, Arteta has been impressing me so far this season, and hopefully you can get it right. I'm still looking at the next 9 games, and I'm looking at certain teams that are down there fighting, West Ham, teams like that I feel like it's not going to be so easy. I think at this stage in the season, the teams that are fighting for their life to stay within this competition are the ones that are probably going to give you the hardest work. They're going to come into this game against Arsenal and think, okay, cool, let's just stay resolute and hit them on the counter. Let's shit us a 1-0. And I think a lot of these little teams that some Arsenal fans may overlook, they're the ones that are going to want to frustrate us, and we need 3 points. You know, 2 bad results and Man City can catch up to us. 2-3 bad results, they can catch up. So we need to continue to keep this lead or extend this lead. You know what I mean? So we can't be going away from too many matches with 1 point. We need to go out there and get the 3 points. And I'm not too bothered right now in how we do it. I don't want 10 out of 10 performance. I couldn't care less. If we can shit us our way to 6 or 7 out of 10 performances and still get a 1-0 or still get a 2-1, I don't care, bro. The points is good enough. It is what it is, bro. Bro, it's not going to be easy, bro.
And the players need to stop passing it in the net, yeah. Like even in the game that I saw today, yeah, even against Leeds, and this has been happening as well. I see it too many times. When there's an opportunity to shoot, just shoot. Why is it that when you should pass, you shoot, but when you should shoot, you fucking pass? I don't fucking understand that shit. If there's half a chance you're on goal, fucking take the shot.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard, you know. And then when there's an opportunity to pass, and then you can square it, do it, whatever you want to call it, yeah. And then just slot it in. It was what is it? What was it? It was like Ben White's goal was a perfect example. Yeah, pass opportunity rather than either try and lob it or try and whip it from out wide or further back. But then you go down the line and then you whip it. Ben White comes storming in off the post in. Messier had fucking
that's
how you do it.
That he made. That's a beautiful run that he made. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm a right back as well, so I gotta applaud that run as well. You get what I mean, fam? I gotta applaud that run as well. So yeah,
that's what you gotta do, man. But yeah, as you said, like that, that's exactly what you gotta do, man. Because the thing is that we're not gonna win the league with the remaining games of the season by playing pretty football.
No.
Touch and all of that. We're going to have to sit back, especially against City. If we do that against you lot next weekend, we play well, we defend well, and we take our chances, yeah, I think we'll win. I'll say by a goal, whether it's 2-1, 3-2, I don't care if it's fucking 5-4. I'll take it. At this point, I'll fucking take it. But we got to do the same against City, but better that in terms of defensively, we got to be absolutely resolute. I do not want to see Rob Holding play against City or Liverpool, but especially City. I want Tierney next to fucking Gabriel if Saliba's not back, because I'm not sure if Saliba's going to be back by Liverpool. But if he's not, put Tierney there. Because if you want to keep Zinchenko, Tierney can just push further, you know, out wide. Partey could drop a little bit, and then we're all going to kind of sit back or whatever, because we have shown that we can do that this season. So if we do that, and then we play all the other teams, the Wolves, the West Hams and all of that, the Chelseas, and then we just find a way to win without playing brilliantly, we can do that and just get the result, man. Just get the result. by May 28th, yeah, I think it's May 28th, I want the armpits in the air. I want Odegaard's stinking armpits in the fucking air, lifting that Premier League title that I've been wanting for over nearly 20 fucking years, yeah? Like, it has to be done. Like, I wouldn't have picked Odegaard as captain, but it's going to be him anyway. So I want to see them armpits. I want to see them Norwegian fucking armpits up in the air. Just get the job done. I don't care. Fuck the style of play, yeah? Like I said before, Northside, fuck the narrative. Fuck the style of play. It's all about win at all costs. Don't concede stupid foolishness like today. You know, yeah, we got away with it and we have got away with it with certain games. But when the crunch time comes, like when we get further into April and then into May, that's when you're going to be judged, innit? We're in a great position now. But if we let this go, bruv, we will not hear the end of it. From Chelsea fans, I don't give a fuck about Tottenham fans because I don't win shit, bruv. Like, I'm convinced, yeah, like Daniel Levy's a secret Arsenal fan. Double O Levy, yeah. Jewish Bond, yeah. I'm saying it with my chest. I'm convinced, yeah. And whoever designed their stadium must be an Arsenal fan as well. 100%. But yeah, the Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, City, of course, you know, like, they're the ones that are going to be on our necks. And I don't want that shit, man, because I've wanted this league title for so long. I wanted the Europa League, but next year we'll go again. You know, as much as I hate that fucking saying, but just like, we're going to have to win it. But get the job done this season, and then next season, get the players out that need to get the fuck out, and then bring the right players in as cheap as possible. Then we can win the Champions League. Because Arteta said himself that I want to win the Champions League in 3 seasons. You failed on that. So if there's going to be a delay to that, I won't mind that, but it has to be next season. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to be the best team in the world, like on form technically, to win the Champions League. We got to a Champions League final, like finishing 4th. Do you know what I'm saying? We had the best defensive record up until the final. So it can be done. Even Tottenham fucking got through. And then, yeah, and then obviously they bottled it because Starboy Kane has to start, even if he's like 1% fit. So, but look, I'm not complaining, innit? Like you guys.
It is what it is. It is what it is. We're happy today, man. We got the 3 points. We're smiling today. Boys, big up. Love for jumping on, bro.
3 point collectors. Yeah.
Big up, boys. Big up. Big up to them, man. Listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, people. Let me get back into, there we go. And yeah, listen, Arsenal win. Convincing win by the second half. We did what we needed to do. And yeah, bring on Liverpool. And hopefully Arteta realizes that we need to play counter-attacking football and hit Liverpool on the break. We can't be leaving a space in behind. We can't be playing a high line. We need to be resolute, compact as a team, and then just hit them. And even if we go away from that Liverpool match, even with a 1-0, it is what it is, man. It's against Liverpool, and I'll take a win however we can get a win. But listen, people, without further ado, make sure you like and subscribe. And listen, 3 point collectors, we're out. 8 points clear.